guys, and welcome back. In today's Pick a Card Tarot reading, we are asking, how does your ex remember you? So you can choose a different group for different exes, whatever you feel like doing. Also, just remember that it's going to vary like how fresh this is. So I know that like some of you are going to be asking about something that's like a fresh breakup, and others of you are asking about something that ended 10 years ago. So just use your discernment and apply the messages according to that, obviously. But anyway, that's what we have. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, firstly, I'm sorry about if my voice sounds funny. I am recovering from a cold. I sound worse than I feel though. So yeah, don't worry. But anyway, today we have 3 groups to choose from. This is group 1, 2, and 3. And I have a little bunch of heart-shaped stones today. So for group 1, we have this heart-shaped howlite today. It's a blue dyed howlite. For group 2, we have a heart-shaped carnelian. And for group 3, we have just a pink stone heart. I'm actually not sure what type of stone it is. It kind of feels like maybe a type of granite. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's the groups for today. So go ahead and choose whichever resonates for whichever X on your mind. Obviously, you can choose up to 3 X's. You can pause the video if you need, but when you're ready, please go ahead and click the corresponding timestamp in the description box below this video, and I will see you in just a second in your reading. Hi, group 1, and welcome to your reading. You guys chose the howlite heart necklace today. So the topic for today's Pick a Card Tarot reading is, how does your ex remember you? So let's just jump in here, and I'm sorry about my voice. I am recovering from a cold, but I think that we can do this. I think it's going to be okay. So from the archetypes cards, we have the Pioneer, and the light attribute says passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. And then the shadow attribute says compulsive need to keep moving on. So obviously your ex remembers your creativity, your mind, also maybe like your mind-heart connection. It's like your ex, at least, we'll see how they feel in a minute here, but your ex at least respects, how do I describe this? It's like you don't just think with your heart or your head. It's like you think with both. So it's like you're very intelligent and bright, but you also have some kind of heart-centered wisdom. It's probably something like connecting to your intuition. I don't know if your ex would describe it that way, but it's like you have this balance between maybe emotions and logic, whereas maybe your ex thinks you can only be one or the other. You're either super emotional or you're super logical, but I feel like your ex remembers that you have a good balance to things. I'm getting a little something about fighting here, but I'm gonna look at the rest of the cards first. So, okay, from the animal spirit cards, we have the fox in reverse. Okay, yeah, so the thing about fighting, it seems like whenever you had a fight or a disagreement or argument with this ex, it's like your brain was moving too fast, and they couldn't keep up. So maybe your ex actually is the one that can't separate emotion and logic. So if they're really emotionally frustrated, like in a heated argument, their like logical brain shuts off, but yours doesn't. It almost feels like one of the things this ex remembers is like during an argument, you would always dominate because your logical brain was still functioning, and you would just lay out all of the facts. This is why I'm mad. This is how we need to resolve it. And this could be in the heat of anger, or it could just be your ex is also just remembering that you were an excellent problem solver. Like you knew how to handle conflict really well and resolve things. Like you knew all the steps to it, or something like that. But there's almost like this, it's too smart for your own good, or you were too smart for them to keep up with you, something like that. Like they couldn't quite match your intellect. So the fox reversed here could indicate some level of dishonesty. So your ex might remember you as dishonest, but I'm not getting that for everybody necessarily. It just seems like it feels like intelligence, like your intelligence was above their head. So honestly, they can't intellectually process whether it was honest or not, something like that. Let's see. Okay, so from the feelings cards, we have brave. So, okay, this ex, there's a level of intimidation here. I mean, it could be physical intimidation because obviously the kangaroo on this card is like making big, strong muscle arms. But it seems like your mind. Your ex is intimidated by your mind, since that keeps coming through. Your ability to stay solid, your ability to stand your ground. It's like they couldn't compete with that. And I don't know why your ex needs to compete with you, but there must be something to that. Like, maybe your ex didn't want to compete with you and they felt like they were in competition, or like they just felt inferior in one way or another. Like, you made them feel inferior and they wanted to be on equal ground with someone, and it's just like they couldn't rise to that level, I guess. Let's see. So from the tarot, I have two cards here. We have the Queen of Swords, of course, and then we have the Four of Swords. So again, the Queen of Swords is you're very intellectually sharp, and you're very sharp with your words. Like, you might have said some cutting things, but I don't feel like you were super mean with your words. It's just like it's like what I was saying before. You can lay out the facts, even facts about your emotions. Like, for some reason, your ex here just doesn't understand how someone can be logical and emotional at the same time. Like, it's blowing their mind. Yeah. There's also something about your heartbeat coming through. Your ex remembers your heartbeat. For some reason, when they think of you, that they remember a heartbeat. Or like, it's like either your head or their head laying on someone's chest and just listening to it. I think they felt that was peaceful or something. I hope. This isn't going to resonate for everybody, but if you or your ex was in the hospital, or were in the hospital at some point during this relationship, they remember that. They remember either you taking care of them or them taking care of you, or monitoring your vitals or something like that, like a heartbeat. They also remember screaming. So since fights came up first here, obviously there were some kind of raised voices here, but they remember how your voice sounds when it was raised. I feel like whether or not your ex thought this during the fights or before you split up, this is how they think now. They think that you were right about things as they look back on it. And that's just it. They're just conceding group one was right. I wish I saw it at the time. So, look, I don't know if it's I wish I saw it at the time, but it's just like looking back, they see how you were right. And, they're like, okay, I deserved this, or I deserved that. Or if you said some harsh words, now they look back and they think I deserved that. So I'll take the punishment. I'll take the pain. I'll sacrifice myself or something like that. I don't know if they necessarily want you back, but they see, they understand your side now. It's like their brain had a lag and it just couldn't keep up with you, but they see it now. I feel like, though, some of them, they want you back because of that, because they see the error of their ways, basically. But for others of you, it's just kind of like they think they're incompatible, and it's because of they don't want you back because they see an incompatibility, that is. And largely, it's what I was talking about. You're either intimidating or you make them feel inferior, and they don't want to feel inferior. One, they don't want to feel inferior, and two, they think that you deserve someone who, can keep up with you, because obviously they can't. This person might have had lighter hair or red hair. Like maybe they were blonde. That's not the deck I want. What deck do I want? Use this one. Something like that. This ex also might remember some times where they went camping with you or spending a lot of time in nature, staring at the stars, making wishes on shooting stars. I don't know if you went somewhere super remote with this ex, something like that. Okay, so Spirit, tell us more. How does this ex remember group 1? 4 of Pentacles and Death. So that's 2 4s here. The number 44 could be relevant to somebody. This relationship might have only lasted 4 months, but that's a number of stability. They see you as a stable and healthy individual. I think they also see themselves as a stable and healthy individual. You're just not quite compatible, I guess. We have the Death here. They could be a Scorpio as well. It doesn't have to be, but obviously they remember how this ended. Like, how it ended must have been pretty, there must have been some level of intensity to it, because they remember that, like, very sharply. Sharp is the word coming to mind. Okay, is there any... How does this ex remembers you drinking a lot of water? And if it's not water, I feel like it's some kind of clear liquid. I don't know if it's vodka, or some of you drinking a lot of vodka around this ex, or water or something. Or just, maybe you're just generally well hydrated. Maybe you have nice skin. Because I am seeing good, clear skin. We have the 9 of Cups. This ex remembers you as beautiful. Or handsome. Or whatever term. Your ex remembers your physical appearance fondly. There's just, there's an incompatibility here. Like, I feel like they saw a future with you at the time. We have the Lovers here. So yeah, they were taking the relationship seriously at the time. I think, Knight of Swords reversed. It seems like there must have been some type of intellectual compatibility, or some type of communication issue, some type of lack of listening. Like this ex remembers you just fine. They think you're a good person. They think you're a beautiful person. It's just not compatible in their view. And I feel like they just see the lack of incompatibility brought a lot of conflict. Like, you just weren't communicating on the same level. You just weren't on the same wavelength. But like I said, this ex remembers that as they look back, you were right. Their brain just could not process it at the time. And again, blonde and red hair is coming through a lot. Could be gray hair too, just some kind of lighter colored hair. And again, the hospital things coming through. Someone must have taken care of someone when they were sick here. I also feel like there's something about this ex, like they wanted to do more things with you. Like they wanted to engage in more physical activities with you. And for some reason it didn't happen, or it just never, like they never got around to it, because either the relationship ended abruptly, or it didn't last long enough, or just some reason. Because I'm seeing like a lot of different types of physical activities, like playing tennis or frisbee or escape rooms, maybe. But like there was just a lot of activities this ex wanted to do that they never had the chance to before it ended. Okay, and we have the Fool. Magician on the bottom. That's 0 and 1. So I do think this ex does think it was right to move on, but they think you're great. They have absolutely no negative feelings towards you, at least at this point. And if this is fresh, obviously, you know, there's, with the Death here, there's some kind of grieving process they have to go through. But like after that, They're going to feel like it was the right thing for this to end. And they are going to understand that you were right. I feel like this ex lied to you sometimes. But they didn't think it was a big deal. I think they saw it as like small. We have the Queen of Swords right here again. Small white lies. They didn't think it was a big deal. But maybe you saw them as a big deal. And they didn't understand. Maybe they thought you were overreacting. But maybe they understand your reaction now when they think about it. I also feel like there's a communication issue here again that's coming through. Like, that was the biggest thing. And I feel like maybe somebody wasn't listening, not listening to the full story. There's a lack of comprehension, something like that going on here. I also feel like this ex kind of regrets talking to their friends about you, or at least they're acknowledging that they did talk to their friends about you, something like that. I don't know if there's regret there, but I feel like maybe they weren't respecting your privacy totally, and maybe that's something that you got upset about. And it's just like, at the time they thought maybe you were overreacting, but now they understand. Their brain just took a long time to catch up, as I was saying. Let's see. Anything else, Spirit? Any other details, memories this ex might have? Yeah, listening. Listening's a big problem here. It's like someone's ears were like full of cotton, not listening. Okay, so we have the present there. So this ex remembers some type of gift exchange, whether you gave them a gift or another. We have the Crown. They respect your authority, something like that. Again, this ex sees you as above them in some way. At least with your mind and your intelligence and maybe your career path, maybe your ability to make money. They just know, like they're not good enough for you in that way. I feel like maybe they don't think you're better in every single respect, but at least in that way they can't keep up with you. Here we have the subway, train. I don't know what you call this emoji, some type of public transportation. So this ex might remember times where they traveled with you. Yeah, the sailboat. So yeah, definitely they're remembering some type of travel. It could be something as simple as a camping trip, though. I feel like they're fond memories. Like I said, this ex doesn't really like. Even if there was a lot of fighting or yelling or something like that, that's not how they're remembering their relationship. They're still remembering the good times and the fond memories. Like, they actually feel like you were a lucky person to have in their life at the time. Like, they feel like they're glad it happened, but they're also glad it didn't continue at this point, if that kind of makes sense. Like, they don't regret the relationship with you. So we have bread here. So that's making me think of baking. I don't know if you ever baked or cooked with this person, or like baking in another sense of the term. But yeah, like I said, it's fond memories. I'm also getting something about golf. So again, those outdoor activities, golf, tennis, croquet, something like that. But anyway, that's what I have for you, group one. I hope this resonated. If it did, please give this video a like, comment, and a share. If you're new here and you liked this reading, please consider subscribing. You are very welcome here. Or just check out my other videos. I make a lot of different pick a card readings over here on a variety of topics, which you can find categorized under the playlist tab on my channel page. So go check those out if you're interested. But anyway, as always, thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye! Hi, group two, and welcome to your reading. You guys chose the little carnelian heart today. So the topic for today's Pick a Card Tarot reading is, how does your ex remember you? And sorry again for my voice. I am recovering from a cold, but we're getting there. It's actually not too difficult to talk. But anyway, from the attributes cards, we have the Fool. Okay. firstly, before I read this, there is something about this ex remembers a lot of different emotions coming from you. They might actually describe it as mood swings, though, to be honest with you. So I feel like your ex remembers you might have had a lot of mood swings, whether it's related to some kind of mental illness or something, or hormones, something like that, but they are associating you with that, and they felt like the relationship was a little bit chaotic because of your mood swings. So I don't know if you actually had mood swings, or if this is the type of ex that's just like, rolling their eyes and just, calling you crazy, here we go again type. But we'll see what the cards have to say. Also, this person, which one they would be. I'm also seeing like a diamond ring. So I don't know. Some of you are asking about someone that you were actually married or engaged to. So this could be a pretty big relationship for some of you. Otherwise, I feel like that indicates this person was considering or planning for that kind of long-term commitment with you. But obviously it ended before that happened. But anyway, so the light attributes on this card says fearlessly revealing emotion. There we go. Helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. And then the shadow attribute says using humor to wound rather than to liberate. Denial of your emotional truth. So again, the mood swings things. But obviously with that shadow attribute though, I do feel like there was some level, and I don't know if it came from you or them, of unfair jokes, mean jokes at the other's expense, or just like either you or them just saying mean things and then saying, oh, I was just joking. I didn't mean it. It was just a joke. Don't take it so seriously. It's not that deep, even though it was hurtful and whoever said it knew it was hurtful. So this depends on the ex. For some of you, I feel like they're sorry for that. And others of them, they're that eye-rolling type where they're just like, I don't know, blaming you for your reactions rather than, correcting their behavior. It seems like during this relationship, some of you might have actually been hurt by this person's actions or mean jokes or otherwise negative behavior. But you didn't like say it right away. Like you kind of hid the fact that this person was hurting you and you just tried to stay strong or brave. So maybe if you were doing that during this relationship, maybe you exploded about it later, and that's what they're calling is like mood swings or overreactions, something like that. But it just seemed like maybe it started out with you being the bigger person and then you just couldn't hold it in anymore. Or something like that. But roles can be reversed as well, so take things as they resonate. Okay, so from the emotions cards, we have content. Okay, and then from the animal spirit cards, we have the buffalo. And this is my misprinted card. So I feel like this ex remembers you as a homebody. It's just so weird that the content card is coming out because I feel like at least at some point, maybe towards the end of your relationship or afterwards, your ex like kind of describes you as someone who was disturbing their peace and you just brought a lot of chaos to them. Even if they were the one that brought the chaos, obviously they've switched that around and they're saying you're the bringer of chaos because of your mood swings or your hormones or your craziness or whatever. But with the buffalo here, that's telling me you're actually pretty stable. And the content card is telling me you're actually pretty chill. Maybe this person just made you crazy. I don't know. But in your ex's mind here, they are this stable rock. And you just brought a bunch of chaos to them with your craziness. And they were so strong and so brave for putting up with you. Or something like that. I also just kind of feel like this ex wasn't grooming themselves very well. Like if this is a man, he wasn't like shaving very often or even kind of had a bit of a neck beard or something like that. Or this could be this ex is thinking that you didn't groom yourself very well or something like that. Let's see. Okay, I don't think those were supposed to be reversed. I think I set them down. Okay, so the 2 tarot cards we've pulled so far is we have the Popess, which is the High Priestess, and then we have the 5 of Coins. Okay. You see how, like, the Prince Charming or whatever, he's, like, proposing to her on this card? And it's like the diamond ring I was seeing in the beginning. This person really wanted this long-term future with you. But I feel like it's weird because in their head, or at least they've rewritten the story at this point to they were this stable rock and you were crazy. But obviously that's not how they felt the whole time, because they loved you. They wanted that future. They wanted that long-term commitment. And maybe this ex didn't like how you were reflecting some of their own behaviors back at them. I feel like originally this person saw you as someone to grow with. Like whatever you touched turned to gold. Like that Midas touch, but not gold. It's like everything you touch turned into like flowers and greenery. Plants just grew wherever you went because you had such a nurturing, wonderful presence. So I feel like maybe you actually helped this person grow their life or their finances in some way, and they kind of wanted to keep building with you, but obviously that didn't work out. Your ex also might remember you as really studious. Maybe you were in school at the time, or maybe you've already had an advanced degree or something like that. It just seems like you were reading textbooks or something. This ex might have given you some jewelry if it wasn't an engagement ring and they remember that. And now maybe they're a little bitter, like, I want that back. You know? Like, well, I'm not, everything's fallen apart now, so give me back everything I gave you, which is just, you know, messed up, right? And we just have like this rainbow behind her as well that I keep being drawn to. So this might have been an LGBTQ kind of relationship for some of you if you wanted that confirmation. I feel like if you ever got dressed up to go out, this ex really remembers that fondly. I feel like that you cleaned up well is the phrase I'm hearing, but you looked really nice every time you went out. I feel like there's like one particular time you went out, maybe somewhere fancier, where you were pretty dressed up, like maybe even wearing an actual gown. Your hair was perfect, like it looked professionally done, something like that. If you were married to this person, this could have been your wedding day that I'm picking up on. But yeah, there's this one night where you just looked amazing, and it's like etched into their memory. I also just feel like your ex remembers you as really sexy. Like how you moved, how you looked, just everything about that. I feel like they also really liked your neck. Like something about your neck was just really sexy to them. And obviously, you know, your chest area as well. I think this ex remembers something about the silent treatment, so they might remember that you gave them the silent treatment a lot, or maybe they were doing that to you. It's like there was obviously some kind of shift with this person because they were really in love with you, and then in their head they've rewritten the narrative to where it's like they didn't actually have any of those feelings, and they feel sorry for you and you're a ball and chain and all this dumb stuff. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of sex stuff now, so obviously they remember that pretty fondly. They might even still think about that sometimes. I feel like they still have some level of sexual passion towards you. I'm seeing a lot of different acts, and some of it's rough, some of it's gentle. I feel like they mostly remember the rough stuff. Obviously, I'm not going to get too far into that. I feel like if you ever wore accessories in your hair, this ex really liked that. But let me see. I'm going to pull some more tarot now. Also, maybe your feet and hands were really physically enticing to this person or something like that. But okay, Spirit, tell us more. How does this ex remember group 2? I think you also had a really youthful face. Some of you might have just been really young at the time. Round cheeks, rosy cheeks, something like that. Let's see, we have the 6 of Pentacles. 9 of Wands. Was like some of your fights with this ex like about money, like finances and stability? Because it's like, I feel like that's one of the things that they complain about or remember negatively is something about finances, like there wasn't some kind of fair exchange, or they felt like they were supporting you and now they don't think it was worth it. Which is giving me like this vibe of like they're taking things back after the fact or something like that. 9 of Wands. Maybe some level of beauty in the beast energy as well. Was there like an age gap or an attractiveness gap going on here? 3 of Pentacles. Was this ex, were they threatened by your work or your career? And if not, were they like threatened by like a person at your work, but like as a third party, something like that? I don't know if this ex was like really suspicious or something, or maybe you were at the time. I feel like this ex just thinks they gave you more physical stuff than you gave back to them, and like they're really bitter about that for some reason. So Queen of Cups reversed. This ex thinks you're manipulative or emotionally manipulative, and I feel like they describe you as like you manipulated them into them giving you physical stuff, money, or paying your bills or buying you jewelry, whatever it was, even though that's probably not what was happening at the time. I feel like that's a narrative they're trying to paint. Everything's so black and white. Like it's just like it was all so perfect and then it was all so bad, you know. The Devil. Again, this person, like, regardless of however they feel now, which to me feels bitter, they remember the sex stuff really well. They still think about it, even with another partner or just, you know, when they're alone with themselves. I feel like they're still thinking about it. I also, like, I feel like they stare at your cleavage, specifically. Like, pictures of you. I don't know if they have old pictures of you or if they look you up or something like that. They still, you know, what I'm talking about. Okay, 6 of Swords here. I actually think it was really hard for your ex to get over you. And if this is fresh, then they're still having a hard time with it, which is maybe why they're so bitter, why they're writing some kind of narrative, is because they didn't want to process their own feelings. Because you had the Queen of Pentacles right here. You were actually, like, you know, long-term partner, wifey material. And I just feel like this person doesn't want to look at their own behavior. It's just, I feel like they describe things as they were going in circles, or you just ended up fighting over the same things over and over, and you were too emotional and things never got resolved, something like that. Anything else, Spirit? Again, I'm getting the fancy clothes again, so I don't, there's some memory they have of you where you were really dressed up and you were like the absolute picture of perfection. This could have been your wedding or someone else's wedding you went to. Just a really fancy restaurant, I don't know. Spirit, anything else? Again, hair accessories they really like. So, crown. they really did want to build with you. They actually wanted to give you a lot of stuff. They wanted the long-term future. They wanted the crop with you. And it's just like, after how things ended, they don't want to admit that anymore, and they want to blame you and call you manipulative. And again, the book here, again, they're remembering you as studious. I was seeing textbooks before, but maybe you were just a big reader, generally, well educated, something like that. You have the taxi. And the mushroom. Yeah, I just feel like this ex doesn't want to face their own way that they contributed to things falling apart. I guess they're just emotionally immature, so this ended, but it seems like you dodged some kind of bullet here, because they're calling you emotional and emotionally manipulative, but to be honest, the energy is it's giving the opposite. Like, your ex was being that way. But anyway, that's what I have for you, group 2. I hope this resonated. If it did, please give this video a thumbs up, a comment, and a share if you're willing. And if you're new here and you liked this reading and you kind of like my style and vibe, please consider subscribing. You are very welcome here. And feel free to check out my other videos as well. I make a lot of different pick a card tarot readings over here on a variety of topics, which you can find categorized under the playlist tab on my channel page. So go check those out if you're interested. But anyway, as always, thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye! Hi, group 3, and welcome to your reading. You guys chose this little pink stone heart necklace today. So the topic for today's Pick a Card Tarot reading is, how does your ex remember you? So, simple topic. Let's go ahead and get started. And I do want to apologize for my voice again. I am getting over a cold. But anyway, let's see here. Oh, so before I turned on the camera, there was an impression I was getting about someone just suddenly going pale, like the blood draining from their face. So someone being really shocked by something. I want to say maybe getting caught red-handed, or they were caught doing something. So for some of you on a more severe level, this could be this person was caught cheating, or it's just like this person was really shocked by some type of truth or awareness, or maybe you were. There could have even been like a really significant death involved here for some of you, but it just seems like someone, it feels like either shame or grief. I'm not sure which one. It might be different for each of you, but like there's a really strong, powerful negative emotion that's kind of long lasting that this ex feels when they remember you. It might just be whenever they remember you, they feel some level of shame over their own actions, or grief, or something like that. But yeah, it's like their heart drops a little bit when they hear your name, even still. But let's see. So from the archetypes cards, we have the Companion, and the light attributes say loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. And the shadow attributes say betrayal by misusing confidences, loss of personal identity. Okay. So what I'm feeling, it might have been a sense of betrayal that this person felt, or that you felt. It might have been, if it wasn't something like someone cheating here, it could just be like someone was just untrustworthy in another way, like telling the other person's secrets, not keeping things in confident, not keeping things like special and sacred between you. There could also be something about codependency. Maybe there was a lot of codependency going on in this relationship from like both sides. Let's see here. From the feelings cards, we have a Goofy. And from the animal spirit cards, we have the sea serpent. Okay, so this person, your ex, definitely remembers like the bedroom activities, the sex stuff pretty well. The sea serpent is very linked to like, I just heard a weird noise. it was like water dripping or bubbles or something. It sounded like a fish tank. I don't know what that was. But this is sacral chakra energy. So this person remembers, yeah, bedroom activities pretty fondly. I feel like they still think about that. I feel like they still maybe occasionally look up your social media just to see your pictures, to see how you're doing, and also just to remember how attractive you were. But this is also like some really creative energy. So this person, your ex, also remembers creating things with you. For some of you, obviously it's like and I'm sorry, there's like a lawnmower outside. I hope it's not too loud on the camera. But there might have actually been a lot of distractions in this relationship. I want to say marriage for some of you, but I was about to say you might have actually created children with this person, a child, multiple children, and maybe that was just stressful, or something stressful and distracting just kind of put a wedge in your relationship, or at least that's how this ex sees it. Like they kind of want to blame the fact that this ended on like some type of third party. I don't necessarily think it's cheating for all of you, but like, you know, just the stress of having kids, or just stress, or something got in between you and ruined what was going on. I just, that the emotion here though is fond. Like this ex has fond memories of you, and especially of like silly times, you know, pillow talk, just making jokes with each other, laughing, being silly. Like I feel like your ex's favorite times with you are kind of like when you were just like at home being silly together, like not dressed up, like maybe your hair is tied up in a messy bun, you're not wearing makeup, you're just having fun and being comfortable and intimate with each other. And this ex feels really positively about those times. Those are their best memories with you. Let's see. So from the tarot here, we have the Ace of Swords, and then we have the Knight of Coins. So your ex definitely remembers you as being really honest, painfully honest. Or maybe this is about the truth that they felt shocked by. Some level of shock here. I also keep seeing like little pets. So I don't know if you had several pets, if it wasn't children that you were raising with this person, or that you had, or they remember your pets. Dogs, cats, farm animals, because I'm seeing like goats, like a petting zoo or something like that. This ex also has a really fond memory of Christmas time, whether it was multiple Christmases or just one very special Christmas. Especially if you got them a little gift, like a little stocking stuffer, something that there's just something about the little things is what this ex remembers the most. So like this person's actually like a really softy over little tiny things, little tiny nostalgias, little tiny tokens and gestures. Like if you ever wrote them a little tiny note that is maybe silly, maybe you forgot about it, like they keep that. Like that's a treasured memory for them. Like it just seems like their treasured memories of you are just like so small, maybe you don't even remember. With the Knight of Coins here, it's like this ex was in this for the long haul. I feel like they did want that. But now there's some kind of wall up. There's a lack of communication, something like that. Spirit, can we get some more information here? But some physical features that are coming through that this ex remembers about you. There's something about your collarbones, or just that area of your body. Could be your eyes, definitely, with the Sea Serpent card here. Or maybe you have a astigmatism. Obviously, that's not for everybody, but your ex remembers that, or that's confirmation for you. Feathers, or like a dream catcher. Also, your backside. Very fond memories, especially if they could ever see that during the intimate times. That was their favorite position, was that style. But let's see. Spirit, anything else? How does this ex remember? Whoa, this deck. Okay. How does this ex remember group 3? Also, the color green is really standing out. We have the 4 of Pentacles. Bracelets are coming through, or like handcuffs if you're intimate activities included. That they remember that. Knight of Wands. Again, this person feels ashamed of something. They're ashamed of how they behaved. Like, it's like they think their behavior is what ended this. Ten of Wands. So it could have been cheating with the Knight of Wands there, like I've been saying, but for others of you, it's just like maybe they weren't helping enough around the house. Maybe they weren't supporting you the way they should or the way they promised. Maybe they left too many burdens on your shoulders with the Ten of Wands here. Like, this could be, as an example, like you're both working full time, but then you come home, you're taking care of the kids, you're cooking everything, you're cleaning everything, and you're basically doing 2 jobs, and this person wasn't helping you. Or at least not as much as they should have. So yeah, this person, they feel shame and regret because they do. They're ashamed of how they behaved in this relationship. We have the Chariot reversed. Like, I feel like this ex would actually want to come back to you. Some of them, they might actually try. They might actually try. They might say all the, 5 of Pentacles. All the sorries in the book, they see the error of their ways. I feel like this ex actually does see the error of their ways, but it might not be enough for them to just see it, right? For you to take them back. But I do feel like they have genuine regret, and they're genuinely sorry. Ace of Cups. And they genuinely love you. Right? I guess it doesn't necessarily make them right for you. Ten of Swords. And it might not be enough to make up for things, but they do see it now. They do regret it. I do feel like this person has cried over you. Specifically, they've cried over their own actions and their own behavior. And actually have had a lot of sleepless nights. A lot of time by themselves to reflect and ponder. Even if they don't try to come back to you, this has actually been a turning point for them where they have, basically they witnessed some things about themselves that they don't like, and they're pretty determined to change it. Whether it gets you back or not, whether they come back or not. Like, they don't want to hurt someone else the way they hurt you. Of the Star. Yeah, so this ex, 6 of Swords. They saw you as really special, really unique. You're one of a kind. They're never going to find someone like you again. And they fucked it up. They really fucked it up. That's how they see it. Like, you are literally unique. They've never met someone like you. They do not think they're going to meet someone like you. I guess you are a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and they fucked it up. They lost it. They fumbled it. And it feels like, for some of you, they did some bigger stuff that's unforgivable. But for a lot of you, they might have just fucked it up by doing a bunch of little things wrong. And they just did a little thing wrong too many times, and they regret it. They seriously regret it. Okay. This person is definitely, they're still looking you up on social media. Even if this was 10 years ago, they'll occasionally get like the urge to look you up, see how you're doing, check out the shape of your body, things like that. Is there anything else? Is there any other details, memories this ex has? Okay, so we have the chocolate chip cookie. And take these things as they resonate. cookie, biscuits, let's see, tears. This person, they have cried about you. If this is fresh, they are crying. Like they are literally crying right now. If you do cook or you bake things and you ever like had food of any type for this person, they remember your cooking very fondly. Here we have the lipstick. I think this person really likes... I actually don't think they liked when you wore makeup as much as when you didn't. Because like I said in the very beginning, they like... their most fond memories of you are when you were natural. Like the messy bun, no makeup. First thing in the morning. Your hair is crazy. You look wild. They love that. That's actually what they remember the most. It's not that they thought you looked ugly, you know, dressed up or with makeup on or anything like that, but I just feel like they miss you. And they miss those moments. Okay, so we have the eggplant. I've already talked about that. They, you know, they definitely remember the asexual side of things. And basketball. And yeah, your backside, definitely they're remembering a lot, like a lot. And the dolphin. So your playfulness, your sense of humor as well, you know, because this ex really sees you as one of a kind. You're really unique. And there was just something about how you joked around, how you were silly, that they're not going to find in anybody else. You were just really playful and fun and special. But anyway, that's what I have for you, group 3. I hope this resonated. If it did, please give this video a like, comment, and a share if you feel willing to do that. If you're new here and you liked this reading and you kind of like my vibe, please consider subscribing. You are very welcome here. I make a lot of different pick a card tarot readings over here, which you can go check out if you're interested. They're all categorized under the playlist tab on my channel page, so go check those out if you're interested. But anyway, as always, thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.